First up, our top focus. Bangladesh is grappling with an unprecedented crisis in the midst of widespread protests and violence. The Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has resigned and has fled to India. Hasina has landed at the Delhi NCR's Hindon airport. Now, security in India has been beefed up at the Bangladeshi High Commission in the wake of these developments. The police has also tightened security outside the Indira Gandhi International Airport following the fall of Hasina's 15-year rule. The army chief of Bangladesh has announced an interim government will be formed. The army chief said he has met members of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party and the Jamaat-e-Islami. However, no leader from the Awami League was present at the meeting. Awami League, of course, is Hasina's party. The army chief appealed for calm and urged the students to stop their protests.
সমস্ত রাজনৈতিক দলের নেতৃবৃন্দকে এখানে আমন্ত্রণ করেছিলাম। ওনারা এখানে এসেছেন। আমরা একটা সুন্দর আলোচনা করেছি। সেখানে আমরা সিদ্ধান্ত নিয়েছি যে একটা ইন্টারিম গভর্নমেন্ট আমরা ফর্ম করব।
Now, as the news of Prime Minister Hasina fleeing the country spread, huge crowds were seen waving flags and dancing on top of a tank in the streets before hundreds of people broke through the gates of Hasina's official residence as well. Protesters stormed the official residence. They also vandalized the statue of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the founder of the nation. Cheers and celebrations over Bangladeshi Prime Minister's resignation also echoed far away in London. At the Whitechapel, a London neighbourhood home to a large Bangladeshi community, many took to the streets to celebrate her resignation. Now, the protest began peacefully in late June as students sought to end a quota system of government jobs, but turned violent after clashes between protesters and the police and pro-government activists at Dhaka University. The government's attempts to quell the demonstrations with force, curfews and internet shutdowns backfired, prompting further outrage as nearly 300 people were killed. On Sunday, nearly 100 people died as the protesters clashed with security officials and the ruling party activists across the country. Now, India's Harshvardhan Shringla, the former foreign secretary and former ambassador to Bangladesh, said the violence was fueled by the BNT and Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami.
Whether it's the opposition BNP or it's the Jamaat-e-Islami, which is the radical, pro-Pakistan Islamist grouping that is very active on the streets. They have joined the protests and they have actually brought in that violence into the protests. You cannot rule out the involvement of foreign powers who are inimical to Bangladesh's interests and frankly to our security interests also. Definitely you cannot rule out the fact that certain interests have been fishing in troubled water.
All right, for the very latest on this, our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal is now joining us live from New Delhi. And Siddhant, well, significant and quick developments there through the day. And now, of course, Hasina has landed in New Delhi, a security issue for the government. And of course, the government hasn't spoken about what's happening in Bangladesh at the moment. But Harsh Shringla, they're pointing out that it's very well that the Jamaat is involved in these protests that have snowballed into Hasina's resignation and those bloody, violent attacks we saw on the streets of Bangladesh.
Well, yes, a day of dramatic development coming from Dhaka and Bangladesh. Concerns, of course, for New Delhi. After 15 years of reign and stability in Bangladesh, the visuals from the country show a different picture. Now, of course, it's confirmed that Sheikh Hasina's plane has landed in Hindon Airport in Ghaziabad, which is near the national capital, Delhi, not far from the place where I am standing. And we know that there have been a strong connect between Sheikh Hasina and India. In fact, India provided her refuge after the killing of her father, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. But all in all, the situation in Bangladesh remaining very precarious. We're getting visuals of violence on the street. The army has, of course, announced that they there will be an interim government, and how this interim government will take shape is the big question. But it's an end of an era, and what next for a very stable Bangladesh? In fact, in the region, we have seen countries after countries facing major issues, whether it's Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and now, of course, Bangladesh. In fact, news just coming in that Air India has also suspended its flight from and to Dhaka. That, of course, does not bodes well for the situation. Remember, there are approximately 8,000 to 9,000 Indians in the country, and approximately 8,000 Indian students left the country in past few weeks as the situation started to deteriorate.
Right, Siddhant, thanks very much indeed for joining us with the very latest there. Siddhant Sibal reporting from New Delhi as Sheikh Hasina lands at the Hindon airport. And of course, no word officially from the government, but of course security has been beefed up in the area, and of course security at the India-Bangladesh border has also been beefed up. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.